Hey everybody, starting in just a minute. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a week. I want to say I didn't stream Monday because I was exhausted. I didn't stream Thursday. Hey Frozen Well. I didn't stream Thursday because my daughter called me on the phone crying and I was emotionally exhausted. It feels like that all happened like a year ago, but I think it was this week. Anyway, here I am. Everything's good. And sorry, I'm a little disorganized. I'm getting my phone set up here so I can follow the chat. The Discord app sucks. Here we go. Hey Nikki. Hey Javi. Dolphin Skull. Javi, I went on a ride this morning, dude. I went down, Santiago Canyon. It's pretty fun. I'm getting faster. Don't tell the cops. I broke every speed limit between here and Irvine. All right, what are we going to work on today? So, a couple of things. One, I guess right off the bat, is I plan to... I'll go again tomorrow. Oh, I gotta put tags on this thing. Game development, pixel art, programming, blah, blah, blah. So right off the bat, I guess what I'll say first is I'm thinking I'm going to release the game into early access on October 22nd. That's 3 weeks from now. A little under 3 weeks right now. So I know that time's going to fly by. So basically, all the development I was doing on the little things I was changing and tweaking, I'm going to put a stop on all of that. In the next 3 weeks, I need to really flesh out how the store page looks. I need to tighten up the copy on the store page, rewrite some of it. I need to make a new trailer, a longer trailer. I need to contact a bunch of outlets and press and YouTubers and Twitter people and let them know and see if they'll help me promote the game. And I have just this huge list of like launch stuff, right? So like pick a release date, done. Okay, pricing research, done. Little things like this, right? Like I want to add a newsletter sign up form or some kind of way to people who've bought the game to be able to contact me or participate, Discord links, something, right? In the game. Need to update screenshots, need to add a bunch of, animated GIFs, to the store pages. I need to update the itch.io page and the Steam page. All this stuff, right? I need to create a support page. Like if people are having trouble, how are they going to find out? How am I going to find out? So I need to. This is what I'm gonna spend the next 3 weeks on, basically, and it's a lot of stuff. And I'm starting today. So the first thing is I have this code where I was working on this coin problem the last couple of weeks and adding some buffs for when you pick up people and when you pick up coins, right? What I'm going to do is put that back on hold. This will be stuff that I work on during early access. And then the other thing too is, it's early access. It's kind of a launch, but I don't want to make a huge deal out of it. Like, it's just early access. It's not a big deal, right? The way I'm viewing it is the next 6 months between early access and the actual launch is when it's more like a public beta, right? So yes, I want people to come and find out about it. I want people to see it and buy it and try it out and whatever. But they don't all have to do it the first day on launch day. I have, a bunch of time, as much time as I want really, to be in early access and continue to promote the game and get people to come. So I'm not so worried about the marketing or the promotional aspects of it. It's just more like a deadline, right? To make me do all this stuff so that it finally gets done. So October 22nd. So because I'm moving these back off my in progress list, the first thing I want to do is basically just unroll all that code that I've already written for this stuff. And that means what I'm going to do is so I've got some commits in here already, right? Power bullets. This basically, I want to undo this commit. And then I have some code in here that I probably need to stash or commit into a different branch. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. So what I think I'm going to do is branch off of here. No, I'm going to branch off of here so that this code gets into its own branch. And I'll just call that the power bullet branch, right? Then I'll branch off of here. There might be a better way to do this, but this is just my brain thinking. I'm going to branch off of here and then merge it back into master so that master starts here. And then I'll cherry pick this back into that, into master, pull it forward, And then I should have a master without this, and I'll have a branch with this. And then I can work on this branch later. And this will basically end up being very close to what I end up releasing. Yeah. So I guess first I just need to clean this up. I need to clean up this code here. This stuff is this class diagram, the state diagram. These were just like, I was trying to visualize. That's the word I'm looking for. I was trying to visualize the all the classes in the game. So I can delete this actually, and I'll show you that code in a second. How do I revert this? Discard. Don't need that. Don't need that. So I wrote, let me just open that up. There's a new, and I put this on GitHub. Such as it is. This. If anybody wants to take a look at it. It's just a super simple, I wrote this in a day. And it's, it's like 200 lines of Go code or something. I'm teaching myself Go, and I thought it'd be fun to write a little program in Go. And what it does is it scans your Godot project, looks at the scene files and the GD script files, and it creates diagrams, right? And the way it creates the diagrams is, here's the code. I actually like Go a lot. It's a neat language. I like how simple it is. And a lot of people complain about this pattern where you have to check the error every time you call a method. But I don't mind it. I kind of program in this way anyway, where I will, check for something and then exit. Like I do a lot of short circuiting things. If this isn't true, then exit. If this isn't true, then exit. And then I can write the real code below it so it's not super indented, And Go kind of encourages that with this pattern. But you see it everywhere, right? Checking for error. A lot of people complain about it, but I actually don't mind it. It's fine. But then the language itself is actually pretty neat. And like the compiling is so fast that I can just go into my project, right? This is my game. And I can go run the games Godot diagram, right? So this code will run this Go file, right? But it's going to compile it. It's being compiled. I'm not running a build. It actually compiles it and runs it all in one step. And it's just instant. It's almost like running interpreted Python code or something, how fast it is. It's just amazing. So what this does then, this program, is it creates, it scans out, prints some stuff. It says I've got 132 scene files and 17,000 lines of code. And it creates a mermaid class diagram file, which is this guy. Mermaid is it's a cool project. It's called Mermaid.js. It's a neat project where you can write out things like flowcharts. In a text format, you can write out flowcharts, class diagrams, ER diagrams, all kinds of neat stuff in this simple text format, which makes it easy to change, right? You don't have to drag and drop things around with your mouse. It's easy to rewire things or change your flow just by copying and pasting text. And then it just draws it, right? The Mermaid system draws it out, which is awesome, right? So then you end up with this stuff. And they have a Mermaid editor, a live editor. But here I am running a Mermaid plugin in Visual Studio Code just so I can pre-visualize it here. And then another thing this does that's pretty cool is you can actually export a image. Yeah, this generate image, right? Let's look at that picture. Games, Godot diagram. There it is. I can open this with Inkscape. Hope it'll open. I don't know. It's a gigantic SVG file. Doop doop doo. My spinning wheel went away. My fans are going. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to open. Let's try that. There we go. So look, just if I zoom out, you can see kind of the structure of the game, right off the bat. And you can see I've got this big class here, this big class here. Those must be important, right? They do a lot of stuff. And there's lots of things that use those, right? And if I zoom in and look at them, I can see, oh yeah, they are important. This one, for example, is the ship, the player's ship. And I can see all the different public variables it's got, all of its different methods. Pretty cool. And I can see, look, it's got another subscene, a critical icon. It's got dust that it uses. It's got a trail, right? 2 of them, in fact. 1 for each wing, right? Kind of neat. So you can see all kind of the relationships between all the different code. You can see which code is kind of more tightly coupled with other code. Like this flash here is used by all the enemies because that's what makes them flash when they get hit, right? They all have a health visualizer, a health bar, right, to all the enemies. And it kind of groups them. All these enemies are together with all their enemy stuff. I don't know how Mermaid does that, but it kind of just does. And then the editor, right, and with all of its little sub-scenes, so you can kind of see the structure of it. Loading dialogue, dialogue editor, property editor, campaign dialogue. And you can see I've got like methods in here for loading a level, saving a level, right? I don't know, kind of neat. It's kind of nice to see your project like this and go, wow, I really made something. It's kind of big, you know, I'm impressed with myself. Anyway, that program's out there if anybody wants to try it out. And you can run it in a subdirectory too. If you don't want to run it on your whole game, you can be like, oh wait, let me run it here. You can be like just run it on your enemies, for example, right? So my enemies are just 11 scenes, 1,500 lines of code. And there's a diagram in here now with just that, right? And if I look at that one, let me see what that one looks like, actually. I'm kind of curious now. Game, enemies, that. Where'd it go? Oh, I have to... So that's the problem with the Mermaid, right? Well, let me just open it in Visual Studio Code. Yeah, so there it is, right? So that's just the enemies and the sub-scenes that those enemies use. All the scenes in that folder and the ones that they reference. And you can see the diagram is pretty simple. Anyway, that was a fun little side project. I don't know how useful that is to anybody, but yeah. Thanks, Fox Shadow. I agree. I think it's cool too. Sell these diagrams. Maybe. I mean, if I get famous enough, I could sell anything, right? Right? Yeah. I'll have to buy a 3D printer, make little models of the ship and get a little number them, right? 1 of 10. Make them collectibles. So let me see. What have I got here? Right. So I was trying to unwind all this stuff, right? So let me first just see. That's fine. I'll keep that because it's just a change log. That's fine too. I'll keep that. I'm going to do one commit and then, well, actually, you know what? I'm not going to do a commit. I'm going to stash this stuff. Let's do that first. Let's just stash all this stuff. So if you don't know, you can, in Git lets you stash code, which just basically means take everything in the working directory and just put it aside. Don't commit it, but just save it for me and clean up the working directory. So I'm going to stash it, and you can give it a message like, this is terrible, but whatever. It's only going to be temporary. Oh, shoot. Well, I don't need that one. I don't need that one. I'm going to stash these two. So now I've got 2 stashes. Don't name your stashes like this. Did it do it? Oh, I should do include untracked. Okay, so now my working directory is clean, right? And if I look at my stash, I can see them. Can I see them? A list? Maybe not from this interface. Visual Studio Code's an okay Git interface, but it's not super great. Git stash list. All right, so I've got some stashes here, and it stores them as kind of a what do you call it? Like a stack. So you push stuff onto the stack and you can pop them off. So if I pop twice, I'll get these two changes right back into my working directory. I don't even know what this one is. I'm probably just going to delete it. But it doesn't fill up your Git history, right? They're not actual commits yet. So I want to take this and create a branch from here. Yeah, create a new branch from here. I'll call this the power up branch, okay? And I don't think that's going to put me on the power up branch, but you see I've got a new branch here, and then I've got master here, right? If I look at all my branches, I should see... Well, I was hoping it would show me like this actually coming out, but I guess it won't because this branch hasn't really diverged from master yet. Then I want to create a temporary branch here, I think. Let's call this temp branch. Okay. And then I want to merge, I want to actually switch to this branch. Let me close Godot, because sometimes when Godot's open, it gets confused when the files change underneath it, especially scene files if they're open, and it'll kind of want to resave it. So I've got this temp branch, and now I can switch to that branch, right? How do I switch branches? Here we go. I can switch to my temp branch. Okay, so now I'm on temp. So the code that I'm looking at right now is here. This is my working tree now. And then I can merge this. Merge this commit into branch. Is that what I want to do? I could probably do this with some kind of rebase. But if I rebase, it's going to mess up my GitHub, right? Which I guess isn't a problem because I'm the only one using my GitHub. I want to take this and make it the master. But I think if I take this and try to merge it, merge this into current branch. I want to like skip this one somehow, or remove this one from master. Oh, you know what I want to do? Maybe I want to merge this one. I want to merge this into the current branch, right? Because this is, yeah. So if I merge this is all temporary. I don't know what I'm doing, obviously. But it's okay, because Git's saving everything. It's fine. I'll merge this. Right. Or should I cherry pick it? Shankall? Should I cherry pick this into my temp branch? I'm in temp. Yeah. Yeah. And do I need this? Oh, this is what I've already done. I never understand what these are. Now I'm confusing myself. So now my temp should have, it should have this, and it's got this, right? If I look at temp, right? Perfect. I think. Power up just has the power bullets. Temp has not power bullets. Master has everything. And then if I merge, if I switch back to master now, right? I'm in master, and then I merge if I merge this into master, will that rebase current branch onto this commit? Rebase current branch onto this commit. I think this is what I want, right? Because then it'll remove my power up code. Screw it, let's just try it. So now master will be the same as this commit. And then I can delete temp. How do I delete temp from here? Do I just hit this? Yeah. So how come this still says rough draft of power bullets in master? I don't know. I think I messed up. Let's do... As you can tell, I don't do this very often. If I just look at master, I've got all this. Refresh, right? Everything. Oh, I lost something, didn't I? Huh, maybe I shouldn't have deleted my, maybe I shouldn't have deleted that temp. I just want to get rid of this. You guys hear that? My son's printing something on the printer in my office. That's fine. I think this is fine, but I ended up with things in the wrong order. I basically just want to get rid of this. Can I do this? Didn't seem to do anything. Why do I still have this here? Revert. Is this bad? Oh, I see what it did. It just made a new commit with the opposite of the original changes, right? So if I compare this, how do I do that? How do I... Like I said, this is not the greatest Git client for when you're doing complex stuff like this. I should have just done that in the beginning. I could have just done, well, now I know. I could have just done revert that, and it would have made a new commit with the opposite and not have been done. I wouldn't need the other branches at all. But it's fine, because now I've got my power bullet branch with my rough draft, right, of the power bullets, and I've got my master without the power bullets. That's just what I wanted. It's fine. I went about it in a weird and awkward way, tried something that didn't work, but now here I am, and I think it's fine. Okay. And these should move. Yeah. All right. All right, so that's step one. Now I can switch over to my power-up branch. Oh, I think I can revert this. Yeah, discard. I can switch over to my power-up branch, and then I can pop those stashes. Pop, and then pop again. Right, so this is all the stuff that I had I was working on in that power-up branch, and I can just see. Yeah, I can just see which of this stuff I need in the power-up branch. I'm gonna actually probably push that one. Let me see. This I don't think I need. That I don't need. What is this? Don't need it. The Godot editor, it makes, I love this text scene file because it makes it really easy to work with in source control, but it also, you know, if you've got animations playing or, you know, in the editor, then it makes this a little bit noisy, and you can just discard a lot of the changes that it's making. So that one I want to keep. Yeah, this I want to keep. This I want to keep. So this is all part of the changes I was making to add a power up to the shield. Keep. Power bullet, wave sound, shield power up, blah, blah, blah. And then this, I think. Yeah. So this is all my work in progress on shield power up, which I'm putting into this feature power up branch. And I'm just going to call it whip shield power up. Right? And then this, I'm going to stash again because I want to move it over to my master. So I'm just going to stash it real quick. Blah. And then switch over to master. And then pop that again. And yeah, this was all just changes to add. I have a demo scene that I just wanted to bring up to the same level as the regular title screen. I use this demo scene for making this, for example. In fact, that's why I changed this. Right? This is the demo scene. demo. And this is on master again, right? All right. I think I'm all cleaned up. Right? So I've got my power up branch here with my shield, my power bullets, some other stuff, right? Rough draft of stuff. And then I've got my main master branch, which doesn't have that stuff because I'm just not going to work on it right now before the early access launch. All right. So, that was a little bit complicated, but it's nice because I don't need to worry about losing anything. It's all here. I can fiddle around with it, mess around with stuff, and just trust that Git is saving everything I need. And then I've got 2 versions of my code, and, Git is just taking care of it, And when I'm ready to work on this again, I can just go back to that branch, work on it some more, merge it into master. Actually, that's probably what I do first, is merge it into master and then work on it some more. I'm following kind of a odd development, source control strategy because I'm not concerned about working with other people. Normally, you'd want to work on your own branch by yourself, and then once you've got it working, then you'd do a pull request, and then someone else would review it, make sure it's going to mesh well and work with everything. For me, it's just me, so I don't care about any of that stuff. All right. BAP. I wish this would auto refresh. Okay. So code is cleaned up, and I've moved these tasks back to my to-do list so I can focus on things that I need to do for the early access launch. And one of the things I need to do today is create some art. So my musician is Droopy Music, and he's got these cool album covers. He did all the music for the game. I have a bunch of tracks. There's 20 minutes of original music in the game. And Droopy has been great. Just fantastic. Let me paste this in there so you guys can see. And he's going to, release the soundtrack on Bandcamp. I think Bandcamp. And to do that, you need a album art. So today I need to give him a square image that he can use for album art. And I'm thinking something like, the Gravity Ace art, the title screen art, maybe the space background, and then something like original soundtrack underneath it. Simple, right? Straightforward. So I'm going to do that in Krita. One of the, I could do it in, Aseprite. And I might do. I'm definitely going to have to go back and forth. Title scene, textures, title. I'm definitely going to have to go back and forth because this is where all the source art is. But Aseprite isn't really great at making gigantic 3,000 pixel images. So this needs to be 3,000 pixels. And yeah, like that. And then I'm not sure if I want to go I could go more high res on this, but I think I want to keep it, pixel arty. So what I'm going to do is I have some art in here already with the, where is it? like here it is, like the space background and stuff, right? And this is pretty high resolution, right? It's not really pixel arty. Very, very high res art, right? But it's not big enough for 3000 by 3000, but it's fine because I can just rescale it, and I can set my scaling thing here to do a little blurring on it, and I think that looks fine. And it is, you know, it's 3000 pixels, but mostly you're going to see it at this size, right? So it doesn't need to be, perfect. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of blurriness is fine. There we go. So that is the background. Let me find, I don't know, I can play around with this. I'll keep this on its own layer so I can kind of move it around and see what I like. I'll just start there. I kind of like that. Did I just move it again? I hit escape accidentally instead of enter. Like a buffoon. Who was that? Millennium Blitz, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And this time I'm going to hit enter. All right. So now I've got this 3000 by 3000 1-to-1 aspect ratio square. And then I can start copying these layers into there. And I wonder which ones I want. I mean, I definitely want these guys. And I want the swoosh. And I want the pilot, right? And yeah, let's just start there. So let's take those. Copy merged. What is the keyword? Control Shift C. Control Shift C. Oh, I don't need to actually select them. Do that. And then I can paste it here. You guys hear that dog barking? I hate that. I love my neighbors. Right here behind me. They're great. Great people. I like their dog. Yeah, come on in. This is my son. He printed something on the printer in the office. I love our neighbors. I love their dog, but their dog just doesn't shut up. Just barks constantly, and at always the wrong times. All right, so you see how small it is? So the solution there is I can resize it, right? And I'm rather than drag it out, right, like this, because I'll mess it up and it'll get scaled and whatever. I'm going to tell it I want nearest neighbor scaling. Nearest neighbor scaling is a scaling method where it just takes each pixel and just makes it bigger. So there's no blurring, there's no fancy algorithms. It literally just takes the pixels and just makes them bigger. And then I need to make it, I want to scale it, right? And I'm going to lock the dimensions so that if I change one of these, like the width, it's going to change the height too, right? And I'm just going to go by an integer scaling amount until I get it to about something that I want. And I think it's going to be about 800. Well, maybe. Let's try. Ooh, this is kind of tricky. I think I need it, before I can do this, I need to get the title in there as well. So this will be my I'll just call this my character layer. And then let's get the title in there. Turn those off. I wonder if I want the planet. Yeah, let's keep the planet. So I'll copy this. Maybe without the pull down. This pull down, I've called this stuff the pull down. Let's try that. Yeah. Right. That V should be pointing right at the captain's hat, I believe, for it to be centered. No, just to the left. His hat goes in between the I and the V. So it's actually like that. And I want to put the characters in front. Right? So this is the title. Yeah. It's missing all the stars. It's missing the ship. See, because I'd produced all this art for, the game, not for what I'm doing right now with it. Maybe what I should do is do a screenshot. Let's try that. Let's just see if that'll be easier. I'm going to run the game and take a screenshot of that screen and just see if that's easier. So here's my demo scene, right? Let me turn off that music. Okay, so I've got the demo scene up, and I can open the demo scene, and then I can turn off those layers that I don't want in this screenshot. Right? And then I can pick a good time for the screenshot right there. And the advantage here is it'll be, copy it, should be big enough. It'll be bigger, for one. Turn those off. All right. Aspect ratio is all wrong. Let's just see. I still want nearest neighbor. And we'll go, oops, I forgot to lock it. See, I didn't lock it. It's doing its thing. Ooh, way too big. All right, try that again. Probably only need to go about 2x because it's starting at a much higher resolution. 3x, 2x. Let's try 250. Nope. 200. 200 where it's got to be. Yeah, this is the problem I was worried about. Right, because that all looks okay. But it doesn't fit. The background's wrong. The pull down doesn't come out right. I want this full circle. I wonder if I've already done this. I feel like I've already done this. No, I know I've already done this because I made a website version of this. I made a version of this for the website. I'm looking for KRA files because those are my Krita files. This is the one I want. Yes. Hey, past me did something right. Oh, thank you, Past John. Oh, you actually made my life easier today. Wow, what a guy. Look at that. He did it right. Perfect, unblurry pixels. Oh, sometimes I'm so happy with myself. All right, so I can delete these. Delete, delete. That actually looks pretty good. Just like that. So there's probably going to be some safety margin around here. Whenever you're doing art for like a platform or, you know, for print or t-shirts or whatever, you want to leave some room around the edge because, you know, if they resize it, if it scales in any way, you know, the edges are going to get cropped first. So you want to leave a little bit of safety margin around the edge, just in general. You know, you don't always need it, but it's a good rule of thumb. I moved it off center, and I probably shouldn't have. So this looks off center, even though I'm sure that this V is dead center. Let me see, how can I test that? Can do that. That actually is dead center. So it's not. But you see how it just looks like if I make this circle dead center, right? Like that, that's dead center on the circle. But it looks off, right? It looks unbalanced. It's too far to the left, and it's because this planet kind of I covered it with my hand, but you can't see me covering it with my hand. If you hide this planet, then it's like more balanced, right? Then it seems more centered. And if I erase that guy, right? It's like more centered now. So this is kind of pulling it off center. So what you'll sometimes do, what I do when I'm doing art like this is rather than measure things, you just kind of want to put it where it feels right. And where it feels right is where people will think it's centered, even if it's technically not. It just feels better. So you go by the visuals, you know? Lots of things are like this. Fonts, moving things around on the screen, the spacing between characters in a word, alignment of words on a poster. Where it's actually centered and where it feels centered are often different. Unless your design is perfectly symmetrical, you'll find that they're frequently very different. And you can't, I can't do it by measurement. I just have to do it by feel. So even though I think that feels centered, that looks centered to me, but actually it's not. That's the center line of this picture. Weird but true. All right. So now I want to do something like, what are you doing? I want to do something like, the other thing, I love Krita as a drawing app, but it's not a super great what do you call it? It doesn't do everything great, and text entry is one of them. In fact, I may switch this now. Yeah, I think I'm going to switch. Well, shoot. Yeah, I'm going to switch. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch apps because there's another app I like, which is much, much better with fonts and that sort of thing. And what I need to do then is I need to export this as a PNG file. And then switch over to my other app, which is a web app, actually. It's called Figma. Figma's great. And I can create a new draft here. And then I can drag in my title image. Right. And then what I can do is make this it's already 3000 by 3000 pixels. What I'm going to do is make this a frame. And the reason I do that is because you can say anything in this frame, you can give the frame a name. So this will be my album cover, right? You can have it clip the content and it has a size. So this frame will only be 3000 by 3000. It'll always be 3000 by 3000. And anything outside of this frame won't be exported when I export the frame. Kind of handy. So then I can take something like my background, which is here, my space background, right? I can put it in the frame. See that? See how it's just cropping it because it's outside of the frame? And I can just resize that guy to whatever I like, move it around. Move it below the title so the title shows, right? So that's kind of cool. This is a web app. Can you believe that? And then I can add my text right here. Oops. Text. That. Original soundtrack. Let's make that text white. It's tiny. It's way, way up there in the corner. You can't even see it. So it's white. Let's make it much bigger. Much, much bigger. This has all of the Google fonts, which is nice. Let's try that. And you can do effects like, look, make all the text uppercase. Or make it all lowercase. Or make it title case. Or leave it as it was typed. Kind of nice. We can do bold, italic. Let's do semi-bold italic. Just italic. Medium italic. Yeah, I like that. And then let's go from there to there. And we can center this component. And then we can center the text. It's not looking half bad. I mean, it's not bad. I think I want to add that lens flare. That engine flare. So that's going to be in here. Ship textures. Flare. Right there. And I want it to be they don't have addition. Hard light should work. Okay. Not quite what I wanted. Let me see. Let's do that. And then do just that. Why is it scaling it taller? Oh, because it's in fill mode. Let's do fit. No. Yeah, fit. Yeah. No. Crop? No. Tile? No. It's just not getting bigger that way. Let me try that again. Delete you. Pop you there. We'll go with fit. No, we'll go with fill. It just gets so tall. I don't know. It's okay, I guess. I don't like this pass through. Don't like normal. I think I want something like screen or lighten, maybe? No. Soft light? No. I really want add. Difference. They have subtract. Exclusion. Darken, multiply, normal. That's close. I don't know. What do we think? Album cover? I don't know if I like the title. Or this font. Could do, what's another one I like? ShareTech I like. That one is reminiscent of the Gravity Ace font. Although this font actually isn't really the Gravity Ace font either. I made this title long before I made the actual font that's used in the game. So the dialogue font, the font you see on all the buttons, it is different than this font. They're similar, but different. And this one is similar, but different. You see the shape of the R is different. The shape of the A is different, right? Jost I kind of like just because it looks kind of futuristic, you know? And it doesn't have to match. Definitely doesn't have to match. In fact, it's probably better if it doesn't, because it stands out a little bit, right? It's like, it's Gravity is the Game, the original soundtrack. I'm probably overthinking it. I think that's fine. Let me look at some of the other soundtrack art. Let's see what we got. Look at the style here, right? Large image cropped in very close. Here's like a landscape. This is more like abstract images, right? Golems are people too. There's nothing tying any of these together, so my thing doesn't have to match any of this stuff. Orbitron, I'll try it. Yeah, I'll try that in a second. I mean, the styles are all over the place, right? Kind of hand-drawn, photograph, stylized photograph, textual, illustration. This is multiple heads. It's all zoomed out. This is very zoomed in. A whole planet. I mean, it doesn't need to be... That's fine. That's fine. Let's look at that Orbitron font, though. Orbitron. Ooh, that's interesting. So see, the A on this one is about the same shape. The R is still different, but it's got that square feeling, right? One thing this one doesn't have, and neither does Jost, is this is a serif font. It's got the little thingies on the eye, but this doesn't, which is fine. It's kind of okay. I mean, you could go and look at fonts forever. So many. So many. That one's a cool one. Nova Square. Looks kind of Star Trek-y. Actually, seeing this one and seeing Orbitron, I think is making me feel like I want to do something a little bit different, because I want it to stand out from this. It's bringing me back to Jost again. And then, because Jost is just, it's more rounder. It's rounder, it's sharper, and so it stands out a little more. I think I'm going to stick with this one. And I like the italic, and I like the size. Actually, let's do this. Let's try this. Let's do the spacing like that. Look at that. Isn't this tool great? I really like Figma a lot. Let's go a little smaller. Then I can increase the space here. Yeah, it's too small. And now that I've decided, I can kind of balance these out a little bit vertically. Like that. Yeah, that looks good. I think that looks good. And then I can find a good spot for the nebula background. Where does it look nice? I think right there is fine. See, the nebula's a little darker down here where this white text is, which is perfect. It's a little redder up here where this planet's on fire, which is cool. Almost looks like I know what I'm doing. I'm going to send this over to Droopy and see what he thinks. Unless he's here. Droopy, are you here? I don't think he's here. So then you can export it, right? So I have the, what do you call it? The frame selected, GA album cover, and I'll export it. See, it's going to export GA album cover, uses the same name. You can export in a bunch of different formats, which is nice. You can export at the original size, which will be 3000 by 3000, or you can scale it, you know? This thing's free. And there it is on my computer. What do we think? I'm going to turn myself off. How's that? Album cover, would you buy it? I was thinking I could go full, I could overproduce this, right? And be like, put some headphones on the Captain, you know, put like a DJ turntables in front of the Pilot here. I'm not going to do that. That would be pretty cool though, I think. I just don't have time. I'm launching in 3 weeks. All right, this is done. Done. And then I'll go back to my files, and I'm going to put this in my Gravity Ace project. Gravity Ace project. All right, so I've got my Gravity Ace stuff here. This is the file I'm using in Figma to do my thumbnails for my YouTube videos. So I can just go and change the number, change the title, save it out. Right, it's a frame, devlog thumb. Just save that out, copy it into the folder with the video assets, upload the whole thing to YouTube. Easy, easy, easy. That's Joast as well. So, yeah, I'm kind of using Joast lots of places, so it makes sense to me to continue using Joast as like a secondary font. Yeah. Yeah, it's done. It is done. I will post that over to Droopy later and see what he says. There it is. All right, let me save this. Here? No. Where was that? Where did that come from? Where is this? Oh, it's in my merch folder. I was trying to come up with like a t-shirt design. That could be a t-shirt, right? Or a sticker. Right? Like a vinyl. Slap it on things. I don't know. I did make a t-shirt with this. It looks pretty good. No, don't need that. Okay. The other thing Figma can do too, if you're worried about using an online app, and I do recommend this for vectors, but also, you know, raster art like this. You're worried about like, this is some online app. I don't trust them, whatever. You can actually save your file out as a well, that'll export as a PNG, but you can save it out as an SVG file and then load it into any other vector art app you like. Illustrator, whatever. You have the file. It'll have all the layers, all the different components, all the shapes, you know, everything. I should probably give those guys some money. They just make the free version so good. All right. Where am I? Done. Wow, 1:30 already. Time flies. So yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff I need to do on here for the store pages. Like this, right? Oh, whoops. That's not what I wanted. Gravity Ace on Steam, that's what I want. All right, so I need a new trailer for here. This is the 15-second trailer, and I'm going to keep it, but I probably need a 30 or 60-second trailer in here as well. I need to rewrite this. This is too wordy and boring. Instead, it's going to be something like Gravity Ace is a 2D cave flying shooter. Cave flying multi-directional twin stick shooter, something like that. I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. The rest of this is okay. And then in here, so this is just all text. I need to, add some pictures in here. Animated GIFs of the different things you're doing. Just spice this up, right? And then the same thing on itch. And put a date in. Need to put the date in. God, so much to do. Yeah, and then the same thing on itch, right? Itch.io. Here it is. Dismiss. So yeah, update the trailer. I need to update all these screenshots because these are all old. The game doesn't. It looks similar to this, but it's not the same as this anymore. This is different. I need to replace this. And the same thing. I'll just reuse a lot of the same assets I use on Steam for itch. Itch is nice because they don't really have any specific requirements. They're very lenient about sizes and stuff. You can pretty much upload whatever you like here. And you can upload whatever you like here. Steam has like 20 different image sizes you need to upload. And they're very particular image sizes and very particular dimension or aspect ratios. And I mean, the way I manage all that is everything's like that, right? Steam, printables, merchandise, MailChimp, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, they all have different image requirements, right? So these are my Twitter banners. These are my YouTube banners. These are my Steam images, right? I mean, look at this. You need a capsule. You need a header. You need an icon. You need a header capsule. All these icon sizes. What is this one? A large capsule. A main capsule. Background. Screenshots. I mean, it's annoying. And these are actually old requirements too. Steam has new updated requirements for image sizes that you need. You've probably seen them on Steam, like let me pull up my Steam so we can look at them. Come on, baby. Like if you look at the store homepage, see stuff like this. I need to create an image like this in case it gets recommended, right? Images like this, right? They have all these new image sizes that you need. This image, these images here. Here's a medium-sized like video. Anyway, they sent an email to me a while ago, like, hey, you need new image sizes for a bunch of your stuff. So that's a chore. But, I guess in one way, it's fine. It's fine. I want to sell it in the store. I need to play by their rules or whatever. But they do make it pretty easy because in their upload interface, back here where I didn't log in before, this thing. In here, where you manage the store page, there's they actually list out all the different images you need and an upload button next to each one. And you just go, okay, I need that type of image. It's this size. Great. Go make it, upload it. Go make it, upload it. So they do make it easy, but there's just so many different ones you have to make. It's kind of annoying. One thing I'm not sure I want to do is Steam Gravity Ace. I'm not sure, but I think images like this one, like this main capsule and maybe the icon, things like that, I might want to draw them high resolution instead of pixelated. I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to play around with that idea. Where's Krita? Because you can take like, you know, like you can take an image like this, right? And it's pretty crisp. Actually, that's a bad example. Looks like I scaled this one already. Yeah, so like you can take one like this, right? And you see the V. So I could just really blow it up. Image, canvas size. Well, let's just scale it. I could go like, oh, that's print size. I go like 300%, right? Oh, let's go like that, right? Oh, dang it. Image, scale, nearest neighbor, 800. Okay, so this is much bigger. But then I could take my pixel art tool, this guy, right? And that's a pixel. That's an actual pixel, right? All this grid. And I could take these and you know, do this to it. Add some resolution to it. And I don't know, I'm going back and forth. I kind of think it could actually be good. It could be good to go. And in fact, I could even use like a different pen. Do something like this, right? Anti-alias and everything. Like that, right? So I could really make these images pretty high fidelity. And still keep the feel of it, you know? Still retain the original feel of the game. But just smooth out some of this stuff. Right? Something like that. I mean, this is real rough. Don't judge me on this, but right, you get the idea, right? And these would scale better to different sizes too, so make it easier to produce some of this stuff. So what I would do is I'd create like my master copy, really high res it, and then chop it up for all the different pieces I need and scale them down to the correct sizes. And they would be nice and crisp and sharp, but they wouldn't be pixely, you know? And that way I could match all the different sizes that Steam needs. And in the Steam interface, it would look a little nicer. You see how they've scaled it, right? And so I've lost some of the pixelation. It looks a little jaggy, where if it was anti-aliased like this, it would look more like a perfect line. And you don't see that on the straight lines. They're fine. It's just where there's a curve or a diagonal that it becomes apparent. And things like the ship, too, it's all rotated like this. If I did a really high-res version of the ship and just repainted the whole thing at high resolution, then I could scale it, crop it, chop it, rotate it, and it would look perfect no matter how it went in. And it would still be, it's not going to be the way it looks exactly in the game, but that's fine. This is marketing promotional material, right? This isn't an in-game screenshot. I think I'm talking myself into it. So that's going to be a lot of work. I'll probably work on that next stream. I'm already feeling exhausted. I'm already feeling exhausted from all this work that I have to do that is not game related. I mean, it's game related, you know, but it's not like what I'd like to be working on. I kind of just want to program stuff, and I need an assistant to do this. An assistant who will work for $0 and spend hours and hours and hours on making this perfect and letting me nitpick it and say, no, a little bit more to the left for free. And anybody volunteering for that? Anybody know anybody who would do that for free? Just be abused by me? Yeah, I think that's the way I've got to go. Because Steam just does stuff like they'll scale things, and like even here, you see all this fine detail in here? It just looks bad, I think. Because they're scaling a highly pixelated version of the art, and there's no anti-aliasing in it. And if I did, it would look much smoother, much more polished and professional. And when somebody sees this and they buy it, and then they, and then they play the actual game, I don't think they're going to notice any difference, right? They're going to say, oh, that's the same. That's the thing I bought. Right? They're going to go from some high-res version of this, right, which looks sick. It's going to be awesome. All anti-aliased and high-res and super cool, right? And sharp and crisp and beautiful. And then they'll download the game and they'll see this and they'll go, yeah, that's the same thing. That's what I bought. I don't think it's going to be misleading or anything, right? Especially, I mean, this is well known. This isn't an in-game shot, right? And it's not intended to be. I think you see this everywhere. Let's see. Let me look up. Let's browse some indie games and see how they do it. Indie. Because everybody knows if you want to find pixel art, you got to look for indie games. So here's an example, right? Right off the bat, I think we found one. RimWorld, right? But you see, in the game, actually, these are like, they actually look pretty nice. Vector stuff. Let's see if we can see a person. All right, so you see the people? I think that's a people. All right, you see the little dude? He's not, like these guys, those guys are in-game. They're not the same as these guys in the title here, this title art. Space Haven. How much are they selling this for? $23. I'm gonna price Gravity Ace at $14.99. Yeah, but see, you see that? Let me see. I'm gonna pause it. There we go. Look at these people. All right, look at that dude. That dude is not that dude, right? It's fine. Super high resolution, capsule graphics, marketing graphics, low res in-game, fine. Very positive reviews. This game actually looks pretty cool. I might buy this game. I've never heard of this before. It's a spaceship building game, a space station building game. Oh, that's cool. Build a spaceship going to a new planet. You're like a bunch of colonists. It's like a city builder in space. Interesting. Yeah, you see the character art here, right? This is in-game. And this is the marketing graphic. Right? They're different, and it's fine. It's nice to see indie games going for $23. I like that. I guess that's inflation for you, but I'm glad to see the prices going up instead of going down. It looked for a while there like it was just a race to zero. Who could get to zero faster? I mean, there are still a lot of games that are too cheap. Like Hades, 25. From the way people talk about that game, it feels like they could charge more. Untitled Goose Game, $14.99. Rebirth, Mr. Wang. Good lord. Yeah, I'm loving these prices. $40. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I think $14.99 is a good price point for Gravity Ace. It's a short game. $29.99. I think there's an expectation, right? The more you pay for a game, the longer players expect it to be. I think that's a fact. Most players expect some time and a certain amount of content per dollar. I know it's stupid, but that's what they expect. So if you don't have the content or the gameplay length for the price, people are going to get upset. That's how I think people view it. I mean, convince me if I'm wrong. And you see stuff like this for $4.99. It worries me a little bit because look at this. I mean, I don't know what this game is. But, I mean, look at that. Somebody spent some time on this, and they're selling it for $4.99? 104 reviews, that's good. That might mean 1,000 people have bought it. Great. But that means they only made, what's 70% of $5? Let's say 1,000 people bought it. 10% left to review. They made $3.49 on each copy. So they made $34.90, right? But if they priced it at $7.99, they'd have made $2,000 more. I paid more for this. I paid more for coffee this morning. I'm not even joking. I bought a latte and an apple muffin, and I paid $7.50. That was just throwaway money. $4.99. I hurts me a little bit to see a game price so low. But it's good. It's encouraging to see all these other ones that are priced higher. In fact, $14.99 looks like it might be on the low end. Here's another $14.99. This one does concern me. I see a lot of this too, right? Because this is $14.99, but this appears to have way more content than Gravity Ace. And it makes me wonder, is Gravity Ace priced too high or is this price too low? Maybe they're just different genres and it doesn't matter. Maybe, I mean, there's so many different factors that go into it. Maybe once they're out of early access, they're going to raise the price. I don't know. I need to look at that too, because I was thinking in early access, I was thinking $14.99 would be the price of the game, right? Which at 70% gives me $10.50 profit for each copy sold. Not bad. It's a nice round number, $10. And then, but during early access, maybe I would reduce the price to $12.99, which is it's a 14%. What if I did a 20% discount? So it'd be $11.99. That actually makes sense. So I could sell the game early access for $11.99, right? Which is $8.39 profit for each copy. And then after early access, raise it to $14.99. I'll have to see how the mechanics of that work, because I think I'd like to show it at $14.99 with a slash through it, you know, and then on sale for $11.99 during early access. But I don't know if you can just leave it on sale for the entire period of early access. I'm not sure how mechanically that works in Steam. I'll have to do some research on that. I need to do the research on that this weekend, actually. Figure that out. Yeah, mobile games, right? Was the race to the bottom. I haven't even looked at the mobile game market recently, but I know every mobile game I've installed recently has been free. Every mobile app I've installed has been free. I've only paid for a couple. But even the ones that I paid for, there are free versions of those apps now that I can get. So I don't know how, I mean, I guess I do know how people make money on mobile. It's the in-app purchases, right? They're not really free. There's just no upfront cost. But the only way you can make money that way is by getting a huge number of players. This is one thing I know for sure, is that when people get something for free, you attract players who like free things. These are people who don't like spending money, right? And so most people who get a free thing only want it because it's free, or they want it, but they only download it or whatever. They're only doing it because it's free. And so if you're getting money out of those type of people, which that's fine. I do that too. I like free things. Getting money out of people who got something for free, though, is very, very hard. And the percentage that you can get, the percentage of those people that you can get to pay for things is incredibly small. Like 0.1% of those people are going to spend any money. So if you're looking at 0.1% spending $2, right? If you want to make, $2,000 at 0.1% of your user base, let's do that. $2,000 at $2 a piece, right? So you need 1,000 people. At 0.1%, you need 100,000 people, right? 100,000. No, you need a million people to download your game for free before 0.1%. That's 1%. That's 0.1%. Before 1,000 of them will give you $2 each. So you need 1 million people to make $2,000 with free to play or in-app purchases, right? With those numbers. And The only way to get 1 million people is to have some kind of weird viral luck or spend a shit ton of money on advertising. And I don't have either of those. I don't have good luck, and I don't have a lot of money to spend on advertising. So that's why I'm not in mobile. With Steam, it doesn't look like that's happened yet, which is great. I think people are still willing to pay upfront a certain amount of money to have an experience, which is great. It's great. It gives me hope. Not that I'm expecting to make a lot of money from this, but it would be nice. It would be nice to make a little. See, this guy's just, I don't even know what this game is, but I know that's too low. I know that's too low. Look at 22 positive reviews, $2.99. Look at this. Look at these screenshots. Too cheap. $14.99. Yeah, it looks like there's a tier where it's basically free, and then it jumps up to the $10 to $20 range. A lot of games are pricing it right in the middle of that, $15, right? Or close to the middle. And then there's another tier where it's like in the 30 to and above range. I don't see many games between $20 and $30. Here's one. So there's like a cheap tier, and I want to stay out of that tier. That's under $10. I don't want to be in that tier because I think there's definitely going to be a stigma with being in that tier. You know, you're going to be down there with the porn simulators, right? I don't want to do that. And then there's a expectation with this tier that you're going to provide a lot of gameplay or a lot of content. There needs to be more depth to it, and I'm not there. Gravity Ace is not that type of game. So I think $14.99 is the right price. That'll definitely be the price out of early access. In early access, it'll be reduced, and then there'll probably be a launch sale. So something like $14.99, $12.99, and then 15% launch sale for a couple of weeks, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, in-app purchases are ads, right? And ads is the same problem because I don't know if you guys know this about ads, but ads pay CPM or they pay CPC. CPM means they pay per 1,000 views, and CPMs are all over the map, but they're typically someplace around $2. CPC is per click, and per click prices are really low, right? Like 10 cents, 2 cents, 25 cents, right? Per click. So if you had 1,000 people view an ad, you'd make $2 CPM. Or if 1,000 people saw the ad in your game, maybe only you can expect about 1% of them to click it. So 10 of them might click it, right? And if your CPC is 10 cents, you can make $1, right? Which is an effective CPM of $1, right? $1 per 1,000 views. So to make any money from that, if you want to make $1,000 on let's make it easy, the math, and make it a $1 CPM, right? If you want to make $1,000, you need 1 million views of your ad. And again, it's just a numbers game, right? You need a crap ton of people playing the game, watching the ads, and tapping on them once in a while. I just don't know how you do it. That's why nobody makes any money except for the very top tier of people in the App Store, right? And they get there by buying their way to the top of those listings. You can pay Google to be at the top of the listings, and by spending a lot of money on advertising. I'm sure you've all seen the ads for the new mobile game, whatever, in your news feed or on Facebook or whatever, right? They pay for those. And they've spent a lot of money on it because they know they've worked out the math. If I spend $1,000 on advertising, I'll make $1,200 on in-app purchases. So they net a profit of $200 per thousand they spend. And once they've got that formula locked in, then they can just throw $1 million at it and make 200 grand. I just don't have that ability, right? Either financially or the willingness to do that, because I think it's gross. That's just me. I don't think advertising is evil necessarily. It's just something I don't like to do. I know, that guy, Flappy Bird, that was just a weird fluke, right? That dude, I don't know what was wrong with that guy. I've never been in his situation, but he was making like $50K a day at one point, and he got so stressed out about it, he turned it off. I don't know if it was moral objection or what. Maybe he didn't feel like he deserved it. He had some kind of internal dilemma with it. I like to think if suddenly I did something and I was making 50 grand a day, I think I'd be okay with it. Call me crazy, but I think I might be okay with that. But you can't depend on that. You can't depend on that happening. You can hope it will happen, and you can do things that you think might make it happen, like making a game at all, any game, increases your odds of that happening. And promoting it so more people know about it increases the odds of that happening. And making a good game, look at this game, right? That increases your odds of that happening. But it's not a guarantee. And we're talking about odds like going from 0% to 0.001%, right? It's not like by just making a game, your odds are now 50-50 that it'll go viral. It's not that good. Everything you do helps increase your odds, but it's still stacked against you. Especially, I think there was something like 7,000 games released on Steam last year, so that's 20 a day, right? 20 new releases every single day that are all competing for everybody's attention, and nobody has enough money to buy every game that comes out. Most of these games I've never even heard of. Gravity Block, 69 cents. Come on, man. At 69 cents, he's thinking, I don't care if anybody buys this game, or I'm so desperate for people to play it that I'll price it really low. Or he's thinking, it's not really worth more than 69 cents, in which case I think, well, then why are you publishing it? Or maybe he's thinking, if I price it really low, more people will get it, I'll make it up on volume. But that doesn't happen, right? He's got one review. I think if you price things this low, people expect it to be garbage, and they're going to just skip over it. Messed up the launch window. Oh man, yeah. So that's another thing. I need to go through all the different steps of what you need to do to launch and make sure I can actually do the 22nd date. Because I'm not sure. I know there are rules around like changing your price. You can only change it once every 30 days, and you've got to have your Steam page up for a certain amount of time before you can release. And then there's like a time period between when you push the button and when it actually happens. I need to get all that figured out. Tomorrow. Maybe tonight. I'll do some reading on my phone, figure that all out. Anyway, that's the news. And thanks for hanging out with me, everybody, and letting me rant about all this stuff. I'm going to try and stream again Monday. I'll probably be doing art, this Steam capsule art stuff, high resifying all my low res art for these types of things. I might even be drawing brand new versions of the art from scratch at high resolution just for these marketing images. Capturing GIFs, updating Steam store pages, itch.io store pages, that sort of stuff. So I'll do that. I'll have that on stream Monday night and Thursday night, life permitting. Life kind of got in the way last week, and then we'll hang out. Yeah, we'll hang out and talk some more about this stuff because I do enjoy talking about these sorts of issues with people, and it's nice to commiserate with other game devs on the same sort of stuff because I know we're all going through the same kind of hair pulling and figuring things out free. Just, I don't know. It's fine. If you want to put your game out for free, that's fine. It's fine. It actually is fine. I support you. Do it for free. At the same time, I kind of wish you wouldn't put it out for free because it creates this expectation that other good things can be free. Everything should be free. Anyway. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Catch you again Monday night. It'll be 6 p.m. Pacific. And until then, have a good weekend, everybody. Have a good weekend. Relax before the work week starts again on Monday. And I'll see you soon. Thanks for dropping by.